Hey guys, what's up? Glad to see you again and welcome back. So last time we created the table to show the energy and the demand of your electricity consumption. So if you haven't watched the last video, watch the last video first. Then today we are going to create a graph to show the trends of energy and demand with energy on the primary axis and demand on the secondary axis. So let's get it started. So this is the table that we made last time. Then we are going to plot this table this time. Then the primary axis is going to be in kilowatt hour. And the secondary axis is going to be in kilowatt. Then we are going to make the chart. So I'm going to make the ribbon stay here. Then right click on mouse and uncheck collapse the ribbon. So the functions are staying here. Then go to the insert tab. Then we are going to select a chart. Then I'm going to select the column one. Then click on the drop down button. Then I think the first one should work. Then click on it. Then the chart shows up here. Then move the chart to the right. Then we're going to select the data. Then right click on the chart area. Then select the data. So click on it. Then we can add the data. So click on add. Then our first trend is going to be your energy consumption, which is in kilowatt hour. So let's make the series name to be energy. Then the value, let's delete this equals to one thing. Otherwise, you might get an error code. So delete. Then let's select for each month. Then say OK. The next one is going to be our x-axis. So since it's going to be for each month, then we're going to make each month as our x-axis. Then let's just say OK first. Then I'm going to create the month. Then looks like we started at June. Then our first month is going to be May because your meter reading date is for your last month. So this consumption is actually for May. Then let's start at May. So type in May. The next one is going to be June. Then enter. Let's see if we can do autofill. Yeah, actually it works. I think we only need 3 letters. So let's delete the rest of the letters. And this is the last month. Then let's select the x-axis. Then click on the chart, then right click of the mouse. Then select the data. Then edit the horizontal axis labels. Then we're going to select the range from May until April. Then hit enter. Then say OK. So now they updated. And the primary axis is for energy. The next one, we are going to make the demand on the same chart. So let's click on the chart area first. Then right click of the mouse. Then select the data. Then add another one. It's going to be demand. Then select the data. So once again, delete this equals to 1. Otherwise, you'll get an error message. Then the data is going to be the demand ones. Then select all those numbers. Then hit enter. Then for horizontal axis, it's the same. It's going to be from May until April. Then hit enter. Then say OK. Then as you can see, they're not showing up. Actually, they're there. And the reason you can't see that because they're way too small. Then if you compare, then the demand is 500 and the energy is 240,000. So that's why they're not showing here, but it's actually there. So let's change the data tab so we can have them show up. So let's select all those blue ones, then right click of the mouse, then change chart tab. Then now we have the options, energy and demand. Then we're going to make the demand to be the line ones. So select the drop-down button, and we're going to use the line with the dots. Then click on it. Then they are still very small, so we're going to make the secondary axis. Then check secondary axis. Now looks a lot better. Then say OK. The next one, let's modify the graph and make the trends to be more attractive. Then let's select the blue ones. Then right-click of the mouse. Then click on Format Data Series. Then for the gap width, so we probably want them to be more closer to each other. Then let's make the gap smaller and smaller. Yes, probably good, I think, this number. Then close after you're done. I probably want to make the bars to be more 3D-like things. So probably want to add a bevel. Then after all the blue ones are selected, you could click on Format at the top. Then there's the Shape Effects. Then click on the drop-down button. Then click on Bevel. The first one probably looks good, I think. Then I'm going to select the first one. Then the bars are more 3D. And the next one is the line here. So usually for energy, then we use blue. Then for the demand, I want to change it to red. I'm going to select the line here. Then still right-click of the mouse. Then Format Data Series. Then go to the first one. I'm going to make the color to be red. Then this is only for line. And for marker, I probably want to do the same thing. Then change the color to be red. I probably want to make the lines, the markers, to be a little bit bigger. Then screw down of the mouse and change the width to be 2 maybe. Then hit enter. Oh, it has color here, so let's change it to red as well. Probably still a little bit smaller. Then let's try 2.5. That's probably good enough. Then close the window. Then we probably want to make the line to be more 3D as well. So let's add some shadows. So click on the trend, then Format, then Shape Effects. And let's try some shadow. Yeah, I think this one looks good. Then click on somewhere. Then after that, we will need to have the description for each axis. Otherwise, nobody knows what you're talking about. Keep in mind. So let's add the description. Then click on the graph. Then go to Chart Design. Then add a chart element. Then for axis, the primary vertical one. It's actually energy, so type in energy. Then let's give a unit. It's in kilowatt hour, so kilowatt hour per month. Then close the parentheses. Then let's add the secondary axis. So click on the chart, then chart design, then element, then secondary vertical. Then it's demand in kilowatt. The demand, parentheses, kilowatt. Enter, and it shows up here. Also, we need to add a title. Then add chart element, then chart title, then above the chart. Then let's call it electricity, energy, and demand. Then hit enter, shows up here. Then also we have to add the legend, so people know what we're talking about for each trend. Then add element, legend. I think the bottom one looks good to me. Then for all those bars, I think the bevel is probably too big. Then if you want to change it, you can select all those bars, then right click of the mouse, then Format Data Series. Then go to the second one, then 3D format, and we can change the width to be 4, then close it. Then for all these titles, we probably want to bold them. Then select the title, then the Home tab, bold, then also bold the axis titles. Then for the words here, they are probably too small, I think. What do you think? So let's make it to be 11 font. So select the 11, similar on the right, 11 here. Then the x-axis, 11, enter. So the graph is probably too small, then let's drag it out. Yeah, also the legend, let's make it to be 11, enter. Yeah, I think the graph looks good to me. What do you think? So this is how to use the primary and the secondary axis and plot energy and the demand on the same graph. Then if you like my videos, go subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye!